Fall Guy is probably one of the most fun movies you're going to see all year.
Bing bong.
I did not watch any trailers for Fall Guy. I just saw that they were doing some early access screenings a couple days ago, and I asked a buddy of mine if he wanted to go. And we watched the movie. We cracked up for pretty much the entire thing. It was hilarious. And after it was over, we just turned to each other. We were like, that was awesome, right? For those of you who don't know, Fall Guy is a movie about a stuntman who gets injured during a stunt and sort of lays low after that, only to be called back into the industry when he finds out that a director that he had a romantic relationship with wants him to be a stuntman in her new movie. If that had been the whole story, I think I still would have enjoyed it. But this film gets so insane and starts to do so many callbacks just to like stories of stuntmen who've died on the job tragically, sort of like calls out how little credit stunt people get for their work all across film, which is true. I think we can all admit we don't really know many of the stunt people in movies at all, unless you're like in the community, which makes it even more important that this movie was actually directed by a former stuntman. Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling, fantastic casting. These two for the entire film are having an absolute blast. Everything about this movie, it would be a mistake to not start with I'm sure the first question that a lot of people would have about a movie about a stuntman. How are the stunts? The stunts in this film are fantastic. And if you stay to watch the end credits of this movie, they show all of the real footage for how they accomplished a lot of the stunts in this film. And I was stunned. I thought for sure way more of them were done with green screen and, some amount of VFX. And you're watching the end credits and you're like, holy shit, they actually did this. Now, to be fair, Ryan Gosling did not do all of his own stunts in this film. He did do some of them, and there are some truly insanely dangerous looking stunts. You have to assume, because the film is being made by a former stuntman, they gotta show off, they gotta go big. You can't have a movie about a stuntman and not do a bunch of insane stunts. Although it would have been a little bit funny if they did sort of that 21 Jump Street thing when they're wondering when the truck of chickens is going to explode on the highway, and like multiple occurrences of gasoline and flammable things and nothing happens, and then the truck just explodes out of nowhere. I'm going off on a tangent. The stunts in this movie are expertly done, but I think where this movie shines is the story. I think that this story in this film takes so many twists and turns and is really smart. Like, it makes so much sense that they go in the direction they do. I was really surprised, like legitimately surprised. I went in with no expectations, to be fair. I did not think that they were gonna put in like that much effort into making the story cohesive and pretty intriguing, where like you want to know how everything's gonna turn out, even though kind of have some idea already. But the film takes enough twists and turns throughout its story that like it keeps you really interested where it's headed. Now, I will also say this is 100% unashamed, full action, summer blockbuster, Hollywood type of movie. This is a popcorn film. This movie knows exactly what it is, which I think is why it works. It's not trying to be something overly complicated or, making too many statements at once and sort of confusing the audience, which is something that it does touch on during the film. It also has enough fourth wall breaks, meta commentary where it's just a lot of fun. It's just a really fun movie. I think when you're going to see a movie about Hollywood stuntman that, sort of goes missing and then turns up later to try to revive his career, it could either be kind of dumb or incredibly well done and super fun, which is exactly what this movie is. I love the fact that this movie came out in May. I love the fact that they didn't wait until July for a summer blockbuster type of movie. Maybe there's too much competition in July, I'm not really sure, or just the summer months in general, but I love that we got this movie now because it's the only one of its kind out. If you're looking for just a big bombastic action comedy movie, this is it. And I think it's also extremely rewatchable. This is one of those movies that when it ended, I was like, can't wait to buy this movie and like watch it again. This is gonna be one of those comfort watch movies. It's just so funny constantly and so well done, and the stunts are incredibly impressive, and the story is just so good. I was pleasantly surprised at how much I like this movie. I cannot recommend this movie enough. If you're somebody that likes big Hollywood action films, then you're probably gonna see this anyway. I don't think you needed my convincing, but if you're someone that usually stays away, goes to more indie movies, and maybe you saw the trailer for Fall Guy and thought, no thanks, too silly and stupid for me. No. It is silly and stupid, but in all of the best possible ways. And this is such a feel-good movie that, trust me, you are going to be glad you checked it out.